And I'm going right over to our next speaker who's right here in Baltimore, Maryland with me. And that is the one and only Mr. Reginald Gant, who is in the building. Welcome to BSN Speaker Spotlight, Reginald, and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Brian, it's an honor to be here. I appreciate the invitation. And quickly, just to sum up who I am, Reginald Gant, Baltimore native, proud husband, father of five, and a proud platform partner to the BSN community, where my wife and I, we proudly educate, equip, and empower Black speakers and entrepreneurs to protect the things that matter the most. And those things are, first of all, yourself and your family, then your business, and then your online identity and reputation, since we live in a virtual world. And by doing so, what you've done is that you've glorified God, you've glorified your family, and you've solidified your legacy for when life happens and not if life happens.
Absolutely. Reginald, you and I have worked together for the last few years. You have been an incredible partner for Black Speakers Network. And so I'm just always incredibly impressed with the way that you're able to kind of get men, particularly thinking about the bigger picture in their life and ultimately not just talking about it, but providing tools, resources, and a community to actually do that. So, I really appreciate that. Now, I know that you are the founder of a community called Serve for Men, it's Community for Men. Can you tell us a little bit about, what that is and why you decided to create it?
Absolutely. Over the years, as I've been growing and evolving personally myself as a man, as a father, and as a husband, God began to whisper into my ear the importance of creating a community where we can come together as like-minded men, fathers, and husbands in an environment where we can support, encourage, and hold one another accountable. Brian, you know what it's like to be a man. You know what it's like sometimes to feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I'm no exception. So I've created a online virtual community now where we can meet up sometimes up to 2, 3 times a month and just have some real talk. So it's really mental health, right? It's a place where men can come. They don't have to be Superman. They can take off the cape, right? And they can come in as Clark Kent. They can come in as their regular self. And it's a place where, they don't have to serve, but they can come to be served.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I do know what it's like. And but I'll tell you there's so many dimensions of being a man that as you get older, sometimes you go into, I don't have kids yet, but I know, you're an incredible father. You serve many other incredible fathers, but there's that dimension. There's the dimension of, once you get in a serious relationship or even get married, then there's another, thing to navigate there, which you've also done. Just celebrating your anniversary as well. And then there's the dimension of caring for aging parents and everything in between. And so there's a lot on us, not to mention being able to navigate the for those of us who are starting businesses or trying to climb the corporate ladder. And so I think just again what you're doing is so valuable. And I know one of the things that you mentioned, man, is that there's no manual, there's no guidebook. We don't get a handbook on how to be a man, how to be a father. But I think if we were to write one, you should either co-author that or get that out there, man. So I really appreciate the work that you've been doing. Now, you also have 20 years on the federal government side, too. You've worked in HR, you have training experience. And so has that been helpful in terms of helping you kind of build kind of this next chapter of entrepreneurship and speaking and training that you've entered into?
Absolutely. So, yeah, with nearly 20 years of federal government expertise, um, specializing in HR workforce development, has actually allowed me to partner now with my wife as we run our own HR consulting firm from home, serving clients here locally, but also internationally as well. So, taking a lot of what I learned in leadership development, workforce development, business development, being able to kind of hone that in one place and serve, a myriad of folks that come our way. But my heart still is with the entrepreneur. My heart is still with the working professional. But as I've been evolving, Brian, my heart is also going out to the men, being a voice, being an encouragement, being an inspiration to the men out here that are laboring and oftentimes, unappreciated.
I totally get that. And man, I love just the direction that you decide to take everything in. Is there a message like for the men that are listening now? Obviously, you made it very clear who you serve. There's a lot happening right now in the
Yeah.
world and the United States in particular. Is there like an overarching message that you want, black men or any men to hear about right now that uh, you think kind of connects up with to some of the predominant struggles that we're facing right now?
I do actually, and I just want to take a quick moment to highlight what happened with Chadwick Boseman and his estate. So, recently his estate settled after he passed away. $3.8 million was the estate, and the government took over 1.5 million. Right. So what does that mean, Brian? Ultimately, 1.5 million was ripped away from his family's legacy. So if I had a message that I would share right now with men, fathers, husbands, whoever's listening, don't be so busy, right? Grinding, working your way towards greatness, right? Climbing the corporate ladder, whatever it is, whether it's in business or in the world of work. Don't be too busy to neglect to protect the things that matter the most. And those things are first and foremost yourself and your family. There's no way in the world that $1.5 million should have went to government. So if you're listening, make sure that you take time out, get your wills, get your estate plans, and as a man, step up into your leadership role so that you can protect, provide, and serve, but do it God's way.
Excellent, excellent, man. And I think you've already touched on this as we've been talking, but my last question, if you could give it to us in like 30 seconds, what's your legacy, man? What do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. If I had to be remembered for anything, I want people to know that Reginald Gant was a man who did his best to serve himself to greatness. I did my best to unleash my greatness within the limited time that God has given me. But I also encouraged and inspired others and brought others along the journey of their own path to greatness, whatever that looks like for them. So if I could sum it up, Brian, uh, hopefully I hit greatness. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm great right now, but an inspiration to many in their journey towards greatness as well.
And I can affirm that, man. The incredible work that you're doing speaks for itself, as well as the legacy that you've already, left in the lives of the people that you serve, as well as your family, man. So I appreciate you. I want to give a shout out to your wife as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kenneth, who I know is watching, as well as a part of the Black Speakers Network community. You two are an incredible duo, and just appreciate all that you all do for us and for the community and just for the entire uh, the entire BSN family, really, because you both have poured so much in. So thank you, man. And obviously, if you want to connect with Reggie, make sure you do that. It says Reginald, but I keep calling Reggie. But Mr. Reginald Gant at blackspeakersnetwork.com/speaker directory. You can find him there and get connected. If you are a man, I highly recommend getting connected into the serve community and making sure that you get plugged into the resources. But Reggie, thank you again for again being a part of Black Speakers Network, and thank you for all that you shared with us today, man.
Thank you for having me.